Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Polygon Matic. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of your screen. Also, there are two donation links down below in the description. If you want to support Ukraine, you can do so by going over to the official websites and donating if you want to do so. Thank you all for the support, and let's get on with the video. So jumping into the daily chart, you can see that we are on TradingView. The chart is from Binance, and currently I have a Fibonacci retracement on, and let me just show you the swing low, which we printed in June of this year, and the swing high, which we printed a bit later in June, in the same month basically. And the 1.618 target was reached nicely 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. Then we had a pullback to the 1.272, which is at 76 cents, right? And from there, we had a bounce to the upside, and a couple of days ago, we almost retested the 1.618 again at 96.5 cents, but we didn't manage to do that, so we started coming back down, and we are retracing to the 1.272 once again, and this is going to be your major support level to hold at the moment, because this was the resistance that rejected us back in May. Once we broke through it here in July, we back tested it once. We back tested it. Actually, we didn't have a second back test. As you can see, we didn't touch this level a second time. And here we only saw a wick. So this wasn't a very strong back test, in my opinion. So I think coming back down to 74, 75 cents, 76 cents is something that we're going to do. At least, right? Because if Bitcoin continues to dump, and with the FOMC meeting happening on September 21st, markets can take another hit, and we could see Polygon Matic at that point over here at the previous swing high of the Fib retracement at 63 cents. So if you want to set up some limit orders in advance, that would be smart in my opinion. That's what I try to do when I can. And I try to buy as much as I can on red days. So for example, if we see dips like this, I would usually be buying throughout this dip, right? And if we see moves to the upside like this, I would be taking profits and swing trading. So it's just basic logic. You have to apply logic to everything. Now, taking a look at some support levels below us in case we do lose this swing high, which is actually a very strong resistance. But if we see a capitulation, obviously you can see how quickly altcoins can drop, especially if Bitcoin starts dropping quickly. Altcoins are gonna bleed, man. It's gonna be crazy. And I do think we're gonna see one last capitulation here in September with the FOMC meeting, and we could potentially be after that, we could potentially see a nice move to the upside going into November, like we did see for the past 2 years. Now, the 786 level here, like I said, is going to be your next support at 54.5 cents. We have retested this level once in July, and we haven't come back to it yet. So yeah, I would be buying some more Matic at these levels. Full disclosure, I do own Polygon Matic. I'm staking them currently, and I will be buying more tokens if we end up dropping below 60 cents, right? Because this is a bit too expensive for me. I'm dollar cost averaging into other altcoins that haven't, that haven't gone up 3x in a matter of months. So yeah, that's just something that I look at. Obviously, if you see an altcoin doing 3x, then you're better off dollar cost averaging into something that has been basically consolidating down here. So that's just what I'm doing. That's just my opinion, not a financial advice, obviously. Now, the major resistance level that I'm looking at over here is starting at $1.30, and that is just slightly above the second fib level here of the same retracement. And as you can see, this is the level that we got supported by all the way back in January of this year, in February, and in April when we saw these dips. So we held this level very nicely, but as you can see, the selling pressure was too much to handle, and then Matic dropped faster than Russia's economy, and we dropped into this falling wedge, as you can see, and from there we dropped even further down. So yeah, just be on the lookout for such a drop in the coming weeks. We could see that black swan events possibly could happen any day of the week. So have buy limit orders, have cash on the side, never buy all in. Always be at least 10 to 50% in cash, just so you can be buying the dips all the time. So potentially we could be retesting this $1.30 area, because once we lost it here in April, we haven't seen the back test of resistance, and that could come in November, in October. Probably we could go even higher in November if we see quite a bit of a strong move, I would say, but I don't think it's going to be as bullish as the move last year, because you have to consider the fact that last year was a bull market and right now we are in a bear market. But it all depends on how low we drop here. If we come down all the way to 54 cents, I would say that, $1.30 would be a great area to reach by November. But if we manage to hold the 1.272 as support here, then we could be seeing higher levels. And what I mean by that is, if I drop in the Fibonacci retracement here from this low to this high, okay, you can see that the 1.618 here is at $1.30, okay, and that aligns perfectly with the sell zone or with the resistance here. And the second fib level here is at $1.47. So that would be something that we could be targeting if we hold this level. Obviously, if we lose this low, then the Fibonacci retracement that I just added to the chart is going to be invalid, and we have to redo it. But yeah, let's say we do bounce from the 1.272 to the $1.47. That's going to be a nice, almost a 2x, right? And Polygon has been on a tear with great partnerships. Disney, Instagram. I think there was one other that I'm just blanking on. I think, was it Mercedes or was it BMW? I'm just blanking. There was another company, but the point is, a lot of deals are coming through with Polygon. This is definitely a very good sign for those of you who are bullish on the project, and I am, for one, very bullish on this project. I will be holding throughout the next couple of years until we start getting overheated in the next bull market, and I will be taking profits. Now, if you want my long-term targets for Polygon Matic, I do apply the Fibonacci retracement the exact same way, just on a different fractal. So we're going to be doing it from the low. Presumably this is our low. I would assume we're not going to be losing this June low, but hey, anything can happen in the crypto markets. So our swing high here is at $2.96, and the 1.618 here would be, apologize about that, the 1.618 would be at $11.80. So from where we are right now, okay, that is a whopping $13,500. So that's a good trade in my opinion. If you have 10,000 tokens, guys, then selling them at above $10, that's going to be incredible. So yeah, that is it for the chart. Let's jump into the daily RSI. As you can see, so I would pay attention to this trend line here, this support trend line. Let me change the color of the trend line so it's easier for you to see it. So the yellow trend line here is going to be an important level for us to hold as support, since we have done that once in May, once in June, and right now we're looking for another back test of support here in September. And we ran into resistance here August 13th, and I gave you this resistance multiple months ago because we've been running into it in December and in October before in the last year. So that's why I had this on the chart, and look at that perfect rejection from that level, move towards the downside, and now we are hoping to see a bounce from this level, okay? Because I wouldn't want to see this yellow trend line lost, because if we do, we can set up another support level here that potentially could hold us. All right, so this level here, as you can see, we have a touch on May 26th. So that could be another low we could retest, obviously. And then if you're below the index of 30, then you're obviously oversold, and that's a great buying opportunity. And yeah, you guys know that already, especially those watching the channel for a very long time. But obviously here in July, it was a good time to take some profits, because ever since then you have been in a very strong downtrend, and we do have a descending resistance trend line here, as you can see. And yeah, we've been creating lower highs ever since July, and at some point we're gonna break out of this little pattern here, out of this accumulation, and I do think it's going to be to the downside, considering the fact that I'm, expecting, not hoping, but expecting a pullback. In fact, I'm actually hoping for a pullback, because I want even cheaper prices for my altcoins. The cheaper the prices, the more I'm gonna buy, and the more I'm going to sell in the next bull market. So if I missed out anything important on the charts, guys, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join me on Patreon. I do drop in my low cap gems. I take in your requests for technical analysis, for videos. We do project highlights, market sentiment analysis, and I recently started dropping podcast episodes in there. So we do updates there on a daily basis. So make sure to check that out. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.